Stay tuned to hear how this bike held up. When the fat bike things started getting bigger, and more people were riding these giant tired bikes, I was just getting into biking. I had reservations about riding in the snow, in the cold. It really didn't sound like fun to me. I also thought it would be good to take some time off the bike, off from exercise, and just be lazy. Previously in the winter, I would snowboard. In Michigan, you ride the lift too long, and the 30-second ride down the slope isn't long enough to warm you up. This was my stem of my reservation. At the same time, I felt like I wanted to try this out. Another way to hang out with biking friends, right? They were doing it, so how bad could it be? Lucky for me, my brother had a fat bike that I was able to try out, and I liked it enough to consider buying one of these things. I did not want to spend the money for one just in case this was not for me. After all, like buying a brand new fresh bike, just like a car, the darn thing loses value as soon as you leave the lot. I did some searching and stumbled on this website called Bikes Direct. I actually thought it was one of those scam sites where, you send in your money only to never see your money again, and on top of that, you never receive your item. This was not the case, and I was able to get my wife and I fat bikes at the same cost of a normal low-end fat bike. We needed to see what we were getting into before we dumped a bunch of money into this fat bike thing. This was my brand new beauty. It showed up at the same time as my wife's, and I was able to put both of them together fairly quickly, as you really only needed to assemble a few simple things like normal when you receive a bike in a box. That same evening, we were off in the snow playing on our bikes. Was fat biking cool? Yes. Was this something I could see myself doing in the future? Yes. Don't get me wrong, I love warm weather 100 times better than the cold, but I don't want to be cooped up in the house or indoors all winter, so this is a great option. My Motobecane X7 that I bought came with everything aluminum or steel, which means that it wasn't the lightest bike around. It stopped you with mechanical disc brakes, which means no hydraulic brakes to mess with or bleed. You could go slow or fast with the 2x10 shifting, which means I had 2 chain rings up front and 10 gears on my cassette in the back. The seat was the best seat I had on any of my bikes, and it didn't go wrong by keeping my butt warmer on those sub-0 degree days. The bike came with tires that were good to roll on streets, gravel, and hard-packed beach sand. But that was about it. They were so good that they didn't even make them anymore. They don't make them today. I don't think I could even give these tires away. I tried the V tires in the snow and I crashed a lot. Even if you have good tires, you can crash a lot on these bikes. Conditions change all the time. I soon changed the tires. I was sick of all the bruises, and I put a Juggernaut Pro on the front and a Surly Nate on the back. And this is what I rolled for quite a long time. This bike took me on adventures in snowy bike paths. Sometimes these bike paths had a ton of snow from them, from the plow truck which went by, and that made it even harder to ride on. I was able to ride snow-covered roads and gravel roads. It was especially fun at night with night lights. My adventures were had on hiking trails, where I would go to a park and groom a path, and people that had little dogs would thank me. They would tell me their dogs actually wouldn't go into the deep snow, but since I had made this great path, their dog was having a fun time walking in the snow. Groomed snowy trails happen to be the best when they are in good or better condition, as you can rip and corner like a dream. When the groomed trails do not set up, that is when you can expect more crashes. Regular trails that are covered in snow can also be groomed by fat bikes themselves. The front rider plows the trail while the rider behind them widens and packs the trail for better riding conditions. The more riders, the better. You can even ride dirt trails on these bikes. I would go as far to say that they are one of the most versatile bikes that you can get. One of my favorite things to do on the Fat Bike is cruise the beach. Riding the lakeshore next to icebergs while bald eagles fly over your heads is definitely an amazing experience. One problem I did encounter was trying to ride with fast guys. I was not able to keep up on this bike due to the weight, but more specifically the weight of the wheel set. So to solve this problem, I had a set of carbon wheels built, and now I was able to kinda keep up with these guys and keep them in my sights. Lightening up the wheel set is a huge difference, and I would recommend it over buying a brand new lighter bike. As you can see, this fat bike lasted 4 years. 4 years of abuse from the sand and the salt of the winter. 4 years of grinding up hills, jumping jumps, and crashing. This bike lasted, and this bike still works today. Would I recommend you get a cheaper but reliable fat bike if you can't afford a more expensive one? Heck yeah. Would I recommend you test your love for fat biking on a bike like this before you drop the big bucks? Absolutely. If money isn't an issue, just go to your local bike shop and get the best thing they have. And when you don't like it, contact your buddy who loves it and sell it to him for half price. The dirt trail, the snow trail, the groom trail and the beach, soft sand or packed gravel road, this bike can take you anywhere. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried a cheaper fat bike to get started and how it turned out. If you like bikes, help support this channel and grab some bike stickers. I put them on my car and van windows. Stay tuned for more videos including race videos, so be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on anything exciting. We will actually see if I go through with racing a fat bike race. I've never done one. We will see. Watch other epic videos just by clicking on them. Thanks again for watching.